The house felt too quiet, not peaceful quiet, the kind of quiet that makes your chest feel tight. I was standing in the kitchen, holding a cup of tea that had already gone cold, when my husband said something that didn't just break my heart, it erased my entire life. "I think I'm in love with someone else." For a moment, I didn't understand the words, not because they were unclear, but because they didn't belong in my life. After 42 years of marriage, after raising 2 children, after building everything together, he said it like it meant nothing, like he was commenting on the weather. I remember asking, very softly, with who? He hesitated, just for a second. But that second told me everything. "My sister," he said. And just like that, everything I believed in collapsed. "My name is Helen Carter. I am 68 years old. I have silver hair. I tie back every morning and hands that have spent a lifetime taking care of others. I believed in loyalty. I believed in family. I believed that if you gave people your love, they would protect it. I was wrong. Richard and I built our life slowly, carefully. We didn't have much in the beginning, just a small house, 2 jobs, and a lot of hope. But over time, we built something stable, something safe. Or at least, that's what I thought. And my sister Laura, she was always close. After her divorce, I told her she could stay with us. I told her she wasn't alone. I opened my home to her. I trusted her. I trusted both of them. And slowly, without me realizing it, I started disappearing from my own life. At first, it was small things. Whispers that stopped when I entered the room. Looks that lasted just a second too long. Plans that didn't include me. Little changes, easy to ignore, easy to excuse. And I did, because the truth was too painful to face. But one night, everything changed. I came home early. The house was dark, but something felt wrong. You know that feeling, when your body knows something before your mind catches up? I heard laughter, soft, familiar, coming from my bedroom. I stood there for a moment, my hand on the door, my heart beating so loud I could hear it in my ears. And then I opened it. That was the moment my life split in two, before and after. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stood there watching the 2 people I trusted most look back at me like I was the one who didn't belong. But what they didn't know, what they couldn't possibly understand, was that something else had been happening, quietly, in the background. Because years ago, after watching my own mother lose everything, I made a decision. A quiet one. A careful one. One I never told Richard about. I kept everything in my name. The house. The savings. The investments. Every account. Every asset. Everything. And he never asked. He never checked. He never cared. Because he trusted me. The same way I trusted him. But trust is a dangerous thing when it's one-sided. The next morning he was gone. No note. No explanation. Just empty space where a life used to be. Laura left too. No goodbye. No apology. Just silence. And for a moment I thought I had lost everything. But then something strange happened. I went to the bank. Not because I was strong, but because I didn't know what else to do. And what I found there changed everything. There were transactions. Transfers I didn't recognize. Attempts to access accounts that didn't belong to him. He had tried. He had tried to take everything. But he couldn't, because legally, none of it was his. And that's when I realized this wasn't just betrayal. This was a plan. Days later, he came back, not alone. Laura was with him, and they didn't look sorry, they looked confident. "We need to talk," he said. I let them in. Not because I forgave them, but because I needed to understand. Richard sat down like nothing had changed, like this was just another conversation. "I think it's best if we sell the house," he said. I looked at him. Really looked at him. And for the first time, I didn't recognize the man in front of me. "Sell it?" I asked. "Yes," Laura said softly, "as a family decision." Family. That word felt different now. Heavy. Empty. I took a slow breath, and then I said something that changed everything. "It's not your house." Silence. Richard frowned. What do you mean? I said calmly, you don't own any of it. He laughed. Actually laughed, like I was joking, but I wasn't. The house is in my name, I said. The accounts are in my name. Everything is in my name. The room went completely still. Laura's face changed first, then Richard's. That's not possible, he said, but it was. And in that moment, the power shifted. Everything they thought they had was never theirs. The next few weeks were not easy. He tried to argue, to pressure me, to guilt me. He said things like, after everything I've done, this isn't fair, you owe me, but I didn't respond. Not the way I used to, because something inside me had changed. I wasn't the woman sitting quietly anymore. I was the woman who finally understood. And then came the final twist. A lawyer contacted me. Richard had already spoken to one. He was trying to claim part of the assets, but when the documents were reviewed, the truth became clear. He had no legal claim. None. And Laura? She disappeared. Just like that. The same way she entered my life, quietly, she left it the same way. Weeks later, I sat in the same kitchen, same chair, same table, but everything felt different. The lights were on, the fridge was full, and the silence was finally mine. Richard lost everything he thought he had, and me. I didn't get revenge. I got something better. Control. If there is one thing I learned, it's this: betrayal doesn't destroy you. Ignoring it does. And the moment you stop staying silent is the moment your life begins again. If this story meant something to you, like, comment, and subscribe, because sometimes the strongest people are the ones who were broken quietly and rebuilt themselves alone.